I'm 65, and this is why I don't care about dating. At 65, I often find myself on the receiving end of well-meaning questions. Don't you get lonely, they ask, their voices layered with genuine concern. Wouldn't you want to meet someone? And my answer, time and again, remains the same. No, not really. This choice doesn't stem from bitterness or disappointment in relationships. Rather, it's rooted in the sense of contentment I've found in my own company, in the wisdom gained through years of experiences, and in a life filled with fulfilling memories. For those who wonder why I feel this way, allow me to share my perspective. My reasons may resonate with some, surprise others, or even provide a different lens through which to view aging, solitude, and self-contentment. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. The comfort of solitude. As I reflect on my life at 65, one of the most precious realizations I've come to embrace is the rare and irreplaceable comfort of solitude. It's a comfort that goes beyond simply being alone and reaches into the very fabric of who I've become. In solitude, I've found not just peace, but an understanding, a gentle acceptance of myself that feels like a soft blanket, warm and sustaining. For much of my life, I was surrounded by people and obligations. I was needed, loved, and involved in lives that kept my own buzzing with purpose. But solitude, as I've grown into it, has taught me a different kind of purpose, a purpose rooted in the quiet, steady rhythm of being at home with oneself. In the years I've spent cultivating my own company, I've discovered the difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a feeling of lack, a yearning for connection that can gnaw at the soul. Solitude, on the other hand, is a fullness, a sense of richness that comes not from needing someone else, but from learning to savor one's own thoughts, dreams, and quiet moments. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey, a gradual deepening of self-awareness that is often only possible in the absence of others. To truly appreciate solitude requires the shedding of old expectations, especially the societal narrative that we are only whole when we're with someone else. For years, I absorbed this idea as if it were a truth that couldn't be questioned, that a person alone was somehow less than, somehow incomplete. But as I've let go of this narrative, I've found that solitude offers something irreplaceable, the freedom to be myself, fully and without reservation. There is a profound liberation in knowing that my happiness doesn't hinge on the presence or approval of anyone else. This isn't a reaction to disappointment or disillusionment. It's the result of understanding that true contentment comes from within. I've learned to savor the quiet moments, to find joy in my own presence, and to create a life that doesn't require anyone else to make it meaningful. Solitude has taught me self-reliance, not just in the physical sense, but emotionally and spiritually. In this quiet space, I've come to see myself clearly, free from the filters and expectations that often come with relationships. Solitude has become a sanctuary, a place where I can explore my thoughts, dreams, and memories without distraction. I no longer feel the need to explain myself or adjust to fit someone else's idea of who I should be. In solitude, I am free to be entirely authentic, to live each day according to my own rhythm and desires. This autonomy, I realize, is a rare gift, one that many may overlook, but one that I cherish deeply. In the simplicity of my routine, I find a peace that is neither empty nor lacking. My days are filled with small rituals that bring me joy. A morning walk where I can feel the world awakening around me, the smell of freshly brewed coffee in a quiet kitchen, the pages of a favorite book that have been lovingly turned and reread. These are not merely pastimes. They are moments of communion with myself, where I feel fully alive and connected to the world in a way that is intimate and profound. Choosing solitude over dating at this stage in my life is not about avoidance or fear. It's about honoring the relationship I have with myself. I've come to view this phase as a sacred time, a chance to nurture my spirit, reflect on my life, and appreciate the journey that has brought me here. Solitude has given me the space to heal old wounds, to find closure, and to let go of the need for external validation. It's a time of reflection, a time to look back and understand that every experience, every relationship has led me to this moment of self contentment. In solitude, I find a strength that is unshakable because it is rooted in acceptance of myself, of my past, and of the life I am building now on my own terms. The comfort I found in solitude is not just a preference, it's a celebration of the life I've lived and the person I've become. It is a profound joy to realize that I am enough, that my own company is fulfilling, and that I am, in every way, complete just as I am. 2. A life full of memories. As I look back over the years, I realize that my life is like a tapestry woven with memories, each thread telling a story of love, laughter, loss, and growth. At 65, these memories have taken on a life of their own. They are not just remnants of the past, but are treasured pieces of who I am today. I carry them with me as living reminders of a journey that has been rich and varied, and they fill my heart in a way that makes the idea of dating or seeking new romantic experiences feel, quite simply, unnecessary. I've had my fair share of love stories, some brief and sweet, others lasting and complex. I've known the thrill of new connections, the deep bonds of committed relationships, and even the bittersweet ending of love that was once everything. These experiences were invaluable, shaping me in ways I couldn't fully appreciate at the time. Now, I look back with gratitude, understanding that each relationship, each chapter, contributed to the fullness of my life. The beauty of memories is that they remain vivid, even when the people in them are no longer part of our lives. I can close my eyes and remember moments of joy and tenderness that feel as real today as they did then. These memories serve as a kind of companionship, a quiet presence that I can call upon whenever I wish. They remind me of who I was, who I loved, and who I have become. There's a sense of fulfillment in knowing that I have lived fully, that I have tasted the sweetness and the sorrows of love, and that I don't feel a need to seek it anew. My heart has known love in all its forms, and that is enough for me. It's a sense of having been there, done that, but in the most profound, deeply satisfying way. I don't look at my past relationships as missed opportunities or what could have been, but rather as beautiful seasons of life that enriched me and left me with a well of memories to draw upon. As we age, we often come to realize that the relationships we've experienced don't vanish. They transform into cherished memories that live on within us. There's a fullness in knowing that the love I gave and received has left an indelible mark on my soul. When I think of these memories, I feel a deep contentment that goes beyond words. They remind me that I have loved and been loved, and that is a profound gift. A gift that doesn't require continual renewal or validation through new relationships. In many ways, my memories are like old friends. They keep me company on quiet evenings, reminding me of a time when life was vibrant with possibilities, of adventures shared, and of quiet, intimate moments that belong only to me. These memories are a part of my identity. They're woven into the person I am today, someone who is content, who has lived, and who doesn't feel the need to pursue new romantic entanglements to feel whole. Choosing not to date now is a way of honoring these memories. It's a way of saying that my past experiences were meaningful, that they were enough, and that I am not seeking to replace or recreate them. I have learned to cherish the beauty of what was, without feeling the need to add to it. My memories fill me with a sense of completeness, allowing me to live in the present without yearning for more. In a world that often tells us that love and companionship are the ultimate measures of a fulfilled life, I've come to see things differently. I believe that the richness of a life well lived can be found in the memories we hold dear, the moments that shaped us, and the people who left an imprint on our hearts. These memories give me all the companionship I need, reassuring me that my life has been full and that I have loved deeply and been loved in return. So, while others may feel the pull to seek out new relationships, I find comfort in the memories I already hold. They are not just moments from the past, but treasures that I carry into the present. These memories, each a testament to the life I've lived, allow me to feel complete without needing to add anything more. In the end, I am at peace, knowing that my life has been rich with love and that my memories are enough to sustain me for the years to come. 3. Independence and freedom of choice. One of the most empowering aspects of growing older is the profound sense of independence that settles into our lives like a well-worn but sturdy coat. At 65, I've reached a point where my choices are truly my own, and I find immense satisfaction in this freedom. For decades, my life was shaped by responsibilities, relationships, and the needs of others. Like many, I moved through life balancing roles as a partner, friend, parent, or caregiver. Each of these roles was deeply fulfilling, but they often required that I put others' needs before my own. Now, in this chapter of my life, I finally have the space to prioritize what genuinely brings me joy, and that freedom feels nothing short of exhilarating. There's a special liberation that comes with reaching a stage in life where you are no longer bound by the expectations of society or the compromises of companionship. I am free to make decisions purely based on my own desires, whims, and goals. If I want to spend an entire day lost in a hobby, dive deeply into a new book, or travel to a place I've always wanted to see, I can do so without coordinating with another person's preferences, schedule, or limitations. There's a profound peace in knowing that each day belongs solely to me, and I am free to fill it however I wish. Choosing not to date is part of embracing this independence. It's not a rejection of companionship, but rather an embrace of the freedom to live authentically without adjusting my life to fit someone else's expectations. At this stage, the idea of altering my routines or making compromises to accommodate a new relationship feels more like an intrusion than an enhancement. This isn't to say I don't value companionship. I have a network of friends and loved ones with whom I share meaningful connections. But the thought of reshaping my life for a romantic partner feels unnecessary and even burdensome, as if it would limit the freedom I have worked so hard to attain. Independence, to me, is the ability to live according to my own rhythm. I don't have to rush if I don't want to. I don't have to fill my days with obligations or commitments unless they truly resonate with me. There's no pressure to be on for someone else, to navigate the subtle dynamics of a relationship, or to align my interests and routines with another person's. This autonomy gives me the freedom to focus on the things that genuinely matter to me, be it a passion, a goal, or a personal project. I can listen to my own needs without filtering them through the lens of how they might affect a partner. In many ways, this independence has opened my life up to a different kind of joy. It's a joy that comes from living honestly and fully, without the compromises that relationships often require. I can be spontaneous, explore new hobbies, or even reinvent parts of myself that were once overshadowed by the needs of others. Every day feels like a chance to reconnect with my own identity, a chance to rediscover who I am at my core. This freedom has made me more attuned to my own desires, more willing to embrace change, and more capable of living fully in the moment. Moreover, this independence has given me a sense of self-reliance that feels empowering and fulfilling. I don't rely on anyone else for my happiness or sense of purpose. I am comfortable in my solitude, and I have found joy in being the architect of my own days. This independence has taught me that I am enough, that I have everything I need within myself to live a contented and meaningful life. It's a quiet strength, a kind of resilience that comes from knowing that I am capable of meeting my own needs and that my happiness is not dependent on someone else's presence or approval. By choosing not to date, I am honoring this newfound freedom. I am acknowledging that my life, as it is complete, and that my happiness does not require a romantic partner to be valid or fulfilling. This independence is something I have earned, and I cherish it deeply. It's a statement to myself that I am whole, that I'm content, and that I'm free to live each day in a way that feels true to who I am. In a world that often views romantic partnership as the ultimate achievement, I find a quiet pride in standing alone, not out of loneliness, but out of choice. This independence is a gift that I give to myself every day, and it's a reminder that my life is entirely my own to shape and enjoy. The freedom to live without compromise, without adjusting for someone else, is to me the ultimate expression of self-respect and self-love. It's a freedom that allows me to live with purpose, joy, and authenticity. And that is something I wouldn't trade for the world. 4. Avoiding the drama and headaches of romantic relationships. As I've grown older, one of the things I appreciate most about my life now is the calm and stability I've cultivated. For me, choosing not to pursue romantic relationships at this stage is about maintaining that sense of peace, free from the emotional ups and downs that relationships sometimes bring. I've experienced enough in life to know that while romance can be thrilling and fulfilling, it can also introduce complexities and, yes, even headaches. Relationships, especially romantic ones, often come with layers of expectations, misunderstandings, and compromises, and these are dynamics I no longer wish to navigate. At this point in my life, I value harmony over the excitement of a new relationship and personal well-being over the potential turbulence of romance. When I think about dating again, I can't help but remember the countless hours spent trying to understand someone else's feelings, managing expectations, or working through the inevitable drama that can come with relationships. While these efforts are natural and necessary in building a strong partnership, they also demand energy and patience, resources I'd rather invest in my own pursuits, interests, and existing relationships with family and friends. I've realized that I don't need the stimulation or tension that often accompanies romantic involvement. I'm at a point where simplicity, routine, and the ability to focus on myself bring me the greatest satisfaction. For many, romance is worth the effort, and I respect that. But I personally no longer feel that urge to solve the puzzle of a romantic relationship or to balance my peace with someone else's needs, emotions, or uncertainties. This isn't to say that romantic relationships are inherently problematic, but rather that they introduce elements of unpredictability that I now prefer to avoid. I cherish the quiet moments in my life, the ability to make choices without negotiating or adjusting to someone else's desires. In solitude, I am free from the pressures and complexities that can sometimes feel like drama. And this freedom allows me to live each day with a sense of clarity and calm. By choosing not to date, I'm honoring my preference for a life that is tranquil and under my control. I'm protecting the serenity I've built over the years, opting out of potential drama and complications in favor of simplicity and contentment. This decision is not about a lack of opportunity or bitterness toward relationships. It's a conscious choice to prioritize my peace of mind. My life is rich and fulfilling without the addition of romantic involvement, and I'm content knowing that I can live fully, free from the stress and headaches that romance sometimes brings. This choice is about valuing my own well-being. I've come to understand that for me, true happiness doesn't depend on romantic companionship. Instead, It's found in the steady, drama free rhythm of a life spent in contented solitude and the relationships that bring joy without unnecessary complexity. I am grateful for the freedom to make this choice, embracing a life that's peaceful, fulfilling, and refreshingly free from the potential drama of romance. 5. Embracing the present and letting go of expectations. One of the greatest lessons I've learned as I've grown older is the art of embracing the present moment. It's a skill that takes time to develop, a gradual letting go of future anxieties and past regrets. At 65, I've come to understand that life becomes much richer when we allow ourselves to be fully present without clinging to what might have been or worrying about what lies ahead. Choosing not to date at this stage in my life isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of expectations and embracing a deep contentment with the life I have exactly as it is. In our younger years, many of us feel a subtle or not so subtle pressure to pursue the life we're supposed to have, a life often marked by marriage, family, career success, and a host of societal milestones. And while I don't regret the paths I've taken or the relationships I've had, I no longer feel the need to seek fulfillment through meeting these expectations. I've realized that there's a kind of freedom in letting go of these narratives, in living life on my own terms without a roadmap or a checklist. By choosing to embrace the present, I can fully appreciate each moment for what it is, not what it should be. Letting go of the expectation to find a romantic partner has been particularly liberating. For many, there's an ingrained belief that happiness is something we find in the future, often in the form of a significant other. But for me, happiness isn't a destination or a person. It's a choice I make each day. It's found in the quiet morning moments, the laughter shared with friends, the satisfaction of personal achievements, and the contentment of simply being. This shift in perspective has allowed me to release any lingering desire for companionship as a requirement for happiness and to see my life as complete, just as it is. Living in the present has also helped me to develop a deeper relationship with myself. I've come to know my own heart, my preferences, my dreams, and my limitations in ways I never did when I was younger. There's a sense of peace that comes from truly knowing oneself and understanding that happiness doesn't have to be pursued. It can be found in simply being. I am no longer chasing an ideal or searching for someone to complete me because I recognize that I am whole on my own. This acceptance of self is not something that can be given by another person. It's a gift that only comes from within, and it's one of the greatest rewards of embracing the present moment. This approach to life has also allowed me to release any lingering regrets. We all carry memories of what might have been or choices we could have made differently. But I've learned that regret serves no purpose other than to keep us bound to a past that we can't change. By choosing to live in the present, I've freed myself from these ghosts of what if. Instead of looking backward with longing or forward with apprehension, I try to approach each day with gratitude for what I have and openness to whatever comes next. It's a choice to live fully without being weighed down by the past or defined by what I lack. In embracing the present, I've come to see life not as a series of milestones to be achieved, but as a collection of moments to be experienced. Each day is an opportunity to learn, to connect, to grow, and to simply be. I no longer feel the need to pursue romantic relationships to add something more to my life because I realize that there is nothing missing. My life is a beautiful, complete picture in its own right, and my fulfillment comes from savoring each moment rather than searching for something to complete it. For many, the idea of living in the moment might sound simple, but it's a discipline, one that requires us to let go of our expectations, our regrets, and our fears. It's about embracing life exactly as it is, rather than as we think it should be. This approach has given me a profound sense of peace, one that doesn't depend on anyone else's presence or approval. It allows me to live with a sense of freedom, knowing that I am enough, that my life is enough, and that every moment is a gift to be cherished. Choosing not to date is part of honoring this peace. It's a way of acknowledging that my happiness is not tied to a future what if, but is grounded in the life I am already living. By releasing the expectations of others and even those I once held for myself, I am free to live each day with clarity, gratitude, and joy. I find purpose not in a future relationship or a distant dream, but in the small, precious moments that fill my days. In the end, embracing the present is about understanding that life doesn't need to be perfect or complete in the eyes of others to be fulfilling. It's about finding beauty in the simplicity of daily life, in the quiet spaces where we can truly see ourselves. I am content in my solitude, not because I have no options, but because I have made a choice to live fully in the here and now, letting go of expectations and finding joy in exactly where I am. Conclusion. In choosing a life without romantic entanglements, I'm not turning away from companionship, love, or joy. Rather, I'm embracing a path that feels truest to who I am now. These years have gifted me with clarity, a deep appreciation for peace, and a sense of fulfillment that doesn't rely on traditional partnerships. I've lived, loved, and learned, and now I find myself in a place of contentment, a place where solitude is a sanctuary rather than a void, where memories are companions, and where independence is a source of strength. For some, the pursuit of romance will always be meaningful, and I respect that deeply. But for me, the freedom to live on my own terms, surrounded by friendships, family, and a community that brings joy without complexity, is a life well lived. I've let go of societal expectations and found happiness in simplicity, serenity, and self reliance. Every day, I wake up with gratitude for a life that is complete in its own right, a life rich in connections, passions, and the kind of peace that only comes with time. So, while the world may continue to ask, "Don't you want someone by your side?" I simply smile, knowing that I already have everything I need. In my journey, I've discovered that the most profound companionship lies within, and that for me is more than enough. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching. And here's to living life on your own terms,